Have you ever wondered have you ever wondered why even when you earn money, it feels like there is never enough to save? Or why some people seem to build wealth so effortlessly? The secret lies in understanding the core pillars of personal finance. And that's exactly what we will break down today. Hi everyone. Welcome to Ben Talks Money. My name is Ben. Today we are diving into personal finance 101 and money basics. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what personal finance covers, why it's important to know personal finance. So let's get started. Personal finance is simply the way you manage your money. It's everything from creating a budget to investing for retirement. In short, this is the roadmap you follow to reach your financial goals, whether it's paying off debt, buying a home, or retiring early. There are four main pillars of personal finance. And the first one is budgeting. That is where every dollar goes. The second one is savings, setting aside cash for both short-term and long-term goals. The third pillar is credit. That's understanding and using loans and credit cards wisely, building the good credit for the future. The fourth pillar is growing your money. That's putting money aside, investing in stocks, and all those kind of stuff. Those are the four pillars of personal finance: budgeting, savings, credit, and investing. So let's get started with budgeting. And before that, why personal finance really matters. It helps you control your future. It helps you avoid the debt trap, and also helps you to build wealth. That's the reason why you need to know personal finance. So what is budgeting? Think of budget as your personal GPS. It tells you where every dollar goes. It helps you track the money coming in, the money going out. You know, there are several tools that helps you track your budget, like Mint or YNAB. Those are two of the most famous apps that you can use to track your budget. There are several ways to do budgeting. One of the most popular one is called the zero-based budgeting, where you assign a role to every dollar. You give a job, kind of like you have $500 coming in, and then you assign a responsibility to every single dollar, right? So that is, let's say, you split your money. You split your money into 50, 30, 20 split, right? 20 of them will go into your savings account. 30 will go to the things that you want, but not necessarily need. And then 50% of your money will go into the things that you actually need, right? And, the next pillar that we talk about is savings. So what is savings, right? Savings isn't just about stashing cash under your mattress. It's about building a safety net, you know, and funding your future goals. Let's say you can have several savings account. You know, you can save for your next vacation. You can save for the house you are willing to buy. You can save for your next birthday party. It's about planning for your future, you know. And as a rule of thumb, it's important, or it's a good practice to have about 3 to 6 months of emergency funding. So let's say your monthly expense is about $1,000. You know, it's good to have at least $3,000 to $6,000 saved, just in case you lose your source of income. Then you have something to fall back on. And another good way to have a good saving practice is through automation. Let's say if you have a direct deposit coming into your account, you can split it up with your employer and, make it in a way that 20% of your salary goes straight into your savings account so that you don't have to manually save, which sometimes can be hard, but 20% goes straight into your savings account. There are also a lot of high yield account that, can give you 3 to 5% return on your savings. I know Robinhood offers about 4% interest compared to the traditional banks where you open an account with Bank of America and they will give you 0.01%. Your money, they are using your money, but you're not getting anything back. So it's preferable to have a high interest savings account like Robinhood and also Wealthfront, that you can make something from your the money that you save. So the next pillar is credit, right? We talk about credit. Everybody knows the basis of what credit is and how credit works. Your credit card can open doors for you. You can also shut them, those same doors, if you don't have a good credit. What affects your credit score is basically your payment history, the amount that you own, the length of your credit history, a new credit card, and a mixture of all of it. A good practice is to pay on time. Make sure you pay all your credit balances at the end of the month if possible. If not, keep the balances below 30%, and also avoid opening too many credit cards at once. Sometimes, people think like, oh, I have $10,000 credit limit, so I can spend $10,000. No, the money is not yours. You have to pay it back. And usually you pay it back at an interest of 20% at least. So be mindful when you are spending the credit cards. The fourth pillar of personal finance is investing. So when we talk about investing, it's basically putting your money into something, and so that the money will grow as the thing grows. So let's take a stock, for example. You put $100 in Apple stock, right? So as the stock goes up, let's say you buy the stock at $100, you buy one share of Apple for $100. So as the share goes up to 110, your money also moves with it. And it's a good way to build wealth. There are other ways also, not just stocks. There are also ETFs, that you can buy, like the JEPQ, JEPI, the Vanguard VU, and a whole lot of them that we will discuss later in this, on this channel. There are also mutual funds, bonds and, treasury yields. Those are safety nets that, usually don't, fluctuate, but the interest that you get on is very small. One of the rules of finance is that the higher the risk, the higher the returns. If you buy treasury bills, you shouldn't be expecting to get a huge return because there is almost no risk involved in that. So investment is very, very important. So do you know that if you put down $100 a month for 7 years, by $7 a month, for 30 years, in, let's say, the S&P 500, the S&P grows about 7% every year. So in 30 years time, that $100 a month will be $100,000. Yes. $100,000 for just putting down $100 a month for 30 years to the S&P. It's not putting the money under your bed or into a regular savings account. It's putting it into the stock market, putting it into the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ or something like that. At the end of 30 years, cumulatively, you hit $100,000, so that's the basics of personal finance. So the key takeaway from this, video is that there are 4 pillars of personal finance. First one is budgeting. You guiding your money, making sure that you use your money well, you track where every money goes. The second pillar is savings. That is putting some money down for the future, for the rainy days. planning for your trip, saving for a house or a car or something like that. The third pillar of personal finance is credit. Credit unlocks opportunities. If you want to buy a car, if you have a good credit, you can get the car on a low credit. If you want to buy a new house, you can get on a low credit. And the final one is investment. That's like accelerate how to accelerate your growth, your money. Putting your money in the S&P 500 or buying bonds and ETFs. So those are the four pillars of personal finance. And I hope this video helps you. This is just an introductory video. We'll dive more into budgeting, savings, credit, and also investment, buying stocks, how to build your IRA, how to start with as little as $10 a day, how you can use options to build your portfolio. So until next time, I will see you guys, and don't forget.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share.